Sing is a terrible film. But it's just a kids' film. Stop overanalyzing it. Turn your brain off. Oh, sorry. Being a kids' movie shouldn't be used as an excuse for stupid or sloppy filmmaking. One of the things that irritate me about Illumination Entertainment is how much they rely on pop songs. The first Despicable Me was alright in that regard, but by the time the sequel came around, they were already putting more emphasis on the songs. We had a cover of the Beach Boys for their trailer, and we have a bunch of songs scattered throughout the film. The Minions movie uses any opportunity to have a dance sequence. It's not fun, it's loud and obnoxious. If it doesn't add to the characters or the plot, then it's pointless and you're wasting my time. Even the Despicable Me 3 trailer is a Michael Jackson playlist. Yes, I understand Sing is a musical, but most of the songs are just played over random scenes. The average Disney animation has about 6 songs. Take a guess how many songs Sing has? 64. And they're not even good songs. Do you remember when people complained about the songs in Suicide Squad being an endless barrage of noise and not fitting the scenes at all? Well, imagine that dialed to 11. 11,000. All of the character introductions are just them singing a verse from a pop song. The tiny bits of information we get makes the characters look like unlikable assholes. Which brings me on to my next point. The characters are unlikable assholes. So the premise is a theatre owner holds a singing competition in the hopes it will revive his failing business. Alright, that's fine. Except this character's story consists of him begging rich people for money and lying and stealing in the hopes of getting his competition off the ground. At one point he even steals the electricity supply from the building next door. His main problem is just that he needs money, which is a problem that should have been solved when the entire city turns up for the audition. Just charge them to enter or sell tickets to sit in on the tryouts and let the audience decide. He clearly needs all the help he can get. At one point he finds a great singer, then kicks him out of the competition because it would be inconvenient to talk to someone a lot taller than him. If I'm not mistaken, that sounds like tallism. We're meant to feel sorry for the pig lady because she's so unappreciated. Her husband works while she stays at home and looks after the kids, but all she wants to do is sing. Maybe if she didn't have 25 kids, she'd have time for some singing. I'm not joking, she has 25 kids. Why would you have that many children if you still want to pursue a singing career? Or is singing suddenly her lifelong dream? All of a sudden, out of nowhere. The film certainly makes it appear that way. But don't worry, she builds a machine that feeds and clothes her kids so she doesn't have to. Great parenting.
Are you okay? Oh yes, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
The first time that we see the porcupine, she's performing a show with her boyfriend and she tries to sing over him. When that fails, she kicks over her microphone stand, pushes him out of the way and then continues singing. I could go on, but you get the idea.
How are you?
The only character that I thought worked was the mouse, because although he's still horrible, he's written to be that way and it works to a degree. Although his inclusion to the story is ultimately pointless. Not a single one of these characters needed to be in the film. You could take any number of the characters out and the film would still work fine, just like in Suicide Squad. Not any particular individual is crucial to the story. You could take out Harley Quinn and the film would still work. You could take out Killer Croc and the film would still work. And that's the same with Sing. As long as there's a group there, it doesn't really matter what those characters are, and that ultimately makes none of these characters feel important.
I mean, I don't know what makes it different from any other animated film.
For some reason, the auditions are held over a single day, which artificially creates drama as people struggle to get there. The gorilla's dad needs him to be ready for a job, but he's not sure when. And what do you know, it's on the day of the audition. Of course it is. The personal stories have to be split between 6 characters, so what was already simplistic and stereotyped storytelling gets dumbed down even more. And none of the characters interact with each other apart from in 1 or 2 minor scenes. So while one story is going, the other 5 are stopped in their tracks. It would have been better if the characters would have helped each other and worked towards their common goal, but they spend nearly all of their time alone either singing or sulking.
Yes, that was very bad.
To the film's credit, it did come together well at the end. Although the finale was predictable from the start, they give it all away in the trailer, it at least felt like something important was happening, which is more than you can say for the rest of the film. The singing was fine, but the voice acting was so bad. Jennifer Saunders was by far the best voice actor and she did a really good job, with the mouse and the lizard not being too bad either. But all of the others range from bland to awful. This is a wild and crazy animation full of anthropomorphic animals singing pop songs, and most of the actors just give flat and dull performances that don't bring any personality or life to the characters. One thing that puzzles me is why they made the characters into animals. It doesn't play into the story like in Zootopia or even Secret Life of Pets. It's just for the visuals. I guess you could say that kids like animals and they're cute, but it comes off as lazy and pandering. None of the characters are animated to have animal qualities. For example, the gorilla runs like a human. Why not bring in some of his animal nature and have him use his arms too? Honestly, it just comes off as lazy. If you've got a crowd of people, you have to make sure each one is an individual. You can't have a bunch of clones of the same person and expect someone not to spot it. But you can copy and paste a sheep or a giraffe and no one will notice because they all look the same. For example, these three bunnies are just a copy and paste of each other that have had a colour change. They're exactly the same bunny, and this happens multiple times throughout the film, and it's really obvious and distracting. There's an animal that auditions for the competition, and he looks exactly the same as a character that appears earlier and later in the film, and I got confused between the two. The only difference is that they're wearing a different jacket. The film's not incompetent, but it is incredibly lazy. If this inspires kids to sing, steal, or gamble all their money away, that's great, but that still doesn't make it a good movie. Would I recommend this? No.
You may think I'm happy, you may think I'm sad, you may think I'm crazy, you may think I'm mad, but hang on to your seats and listen right here. I'm gonna tell you something that'll burn your ear. A hip hop hat. I'm giving you all the Michael Rosen rap.